Right now, I'm going to tell you about the AdSense alternatives, but I do want to remind you that this method works the best with AdSense, and people usually they trust AdSense the most, the ads that are by AdSense the most, because they are already used to those type of ads. Because when they see those ads, they don't think that if they click them, their computer is gonna be flooded with ads or with viruses. Who knows? And they trust the AdSense ads, and they usually click on them. But there are other alternatives to AdSense, other ads that are really good, and people trust them because out there on the internet they are used. So right now this video is going to be dedicated to those quote-unquote other ads, and by all means, these are not just alternatives for AdSense that they suck, this and that, but they are really good ads and ad companies, and you should definitely try them. But do know yet again that this method is primarily used with AdSense. Now, let me talk about these alternatives and which ones they are. I did a lot of research before I started to make this video because personally I haven't used on this method anything other than AdSense. Maybe because I was lucky enough or good enough to get my AdSense account on the first try. But you may run into problems when getting your AdSense account. So that's why I've been researching and put up this video for you to use these ads as well. So these are Revenue Hits, Media.net, Infolinks, and ClickSource. I'm going to talk about all of them one by one, and I'm going to explain to you the pros, the cons. I'm going to tell you what are the minimum requirements and things like that. But definitely, if you have the time, try to research on your own on each and one of these ads. And I've made these 4 specifically in this video because I think out of the research that these 4 are the best to get things started. I'm going to go with Revenue Hits first. And what people usually like, what they say they like about Revenue Hits, is that it's efficient operation run by talented staff, quick, powerful ability to integrate their contextual text ads into other formats on your site or standalone ads, responsive customer service via email. And what people don't like is that the website lacks extensive, in-depth information about a variety of services. And managing the platform wasn't difficult, but instructions were still a bit lacking. Now that's what people say about Revenue Hits. There are no traffic minimums, and AdSense doesn't have any traffic minimum, but some ads, they do have minimums, but these 4, they don't. And for Revenue Hits, the publisher language requirement is none, so I think you can use any which one you like. Publisher prohibited content, of course, like any other ad company out there. Adult or mature content is prohibited, so the same as hate speech, harassment, and things like those. Now for advertising and offers, they have display and mobile ads. Their offer types are CPA, CPM, display and rich media, text ads, pop-ups, under apps, and things like that. Now for Infolinks. Infolinks also doesn't have a traffic minimum, and the publisher language requirement in their publisher service agreement, they don't specify any language, but for all these ad companies, it'll be best if you use English. Prohibited content, the same, pornography, hate-related content, violent content, things like that. Their advertising types are display, inline text, and their offer types are CPC only. Now for Media.net, there is no traffic minimum. The publisher language must be primarily in English. Prohibited content, adult tobacco, alcohol, ammunition, illegal drugs, gore, things like that. Now for ClickSource, the traffic minimum is none. Publisher language requirement none. And advertising types display, offer types CPC, CPI, CPM, And about those, that is pretty much it, what I think I should tell you about. And I do recommend when you're picking one of these for your website, I do recommend you put in some extra research and see which one would be the best one for your niche. Now, to continue on with the presentation, we're going to go to native advertising. Now, native advertising is a type of disguised advertising, usually online, that matches the form and function of the platform upon which it appears. Now, by this, I'll show you an example of native advertising, but those are the ones, the ads, that usually you don't know that they're ads. They look like something like thumbnails from posts, and when you click on them, you go to an article or content like that, and usually people don't even realize they are ads. So most networks usually ask for a certain number of visitors per day before they let you in. And some like these are, let me think, ref content. I think that was the name. And this is why most new pages start off with content ad. And I do recommend you get content ad because there is no traffic minimum. And they are really good because their support is fast, on time, and delivers a great service. They always pay on time. And so far, I've never had any problems with them. These are totally safe to use and people trust them when they click on them. Even authoritative websites use these type of ads and you have probably already clicked on them. Chances are you have really. Now to placement. And this is just to show you where the native ads are usually placed. And I'm going to give you a live example from my website. And again, for placement, if you want to place them on your website, there are ways in which you can do that by placing the code that they give you. They explain it very well, a lot better than I can do it. So follow what they tell you. But here, now I'm just going to show you where the native ads are usually placed. So onwards to my browser. Now that we are on my screen, I'm going to show you where the native ads are usually placed. And as you can read here, sponsored links by content ad. And this is what I mean that they look like thumbnails. Now, of course, I'm not going to press on these because that will be violating the terms. But if you do press on these, chances are you're probably going to be taken to an article. And this is what they look like, thumbnails, or they just look like they belong on a website. Like if you click them, you will not be taken to any other website. You will be taken to the same website, just to a different post. Now, people, and even myself, place them usually here on the sidebar. You can find out how you can do that either by Googling it or content that gives out good tutorials on how you can do it. So follow what they say. And other place which I think is really effective is right here where you see this related posts. Under this, you can leave them. Now, on this website, I don't have them here, but usually on the other sites that I have that I'm using the Facebook method, usually they'd be somewhere here, the ads. And these ads, they do a lot of revenue. They can make you a lot of money. And depending on how much traffic you bring on them, that's how much they're going to make you. So like I said, here's a good spot. On the sidebar is a good spot. And I've even seen some people place them here. So, yeah. See which one you think would be best. Definitely experiment with things. And I hope you get some good results.